Hello, second grade readers. Today I want to teach you that when you are reading a story, we learn life lessons. We reflect on what we've read and we ask ourselves the question, why did the author end the book this way? What life lesson am I supposed to learn from this story? For example, in Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach, the story ended when Scaredy Squirrel relaxed and enjoyed the crowded beach. The author ended the story with the line, "He's glad to be part of the crowd." He learned that even though it's scary sometimes, we should try new things. In fact, that was something that one of our students wrote in one of their writing about one of the Scaredy Squirrel books that we read, was that even though sometimes we're scared of something, we should just go for it and we should just try it, even though we might be a little scared to do it at first, because you never know, you might end up liking it. So that is a really important lesson that Scaredy Squirrel Goes to the Beach was teaching us. The author wanted us to teach us that lesson through Scaredy Squirrel Going to the Beach. So when we read, we learn life lessons. So life lessons are meant for all readers. Life lessons help us to learn from characters' mistakes. So if a character makes a mistake, we learn from that character's mistakes so that way we don't make the same mistakes. Life lessons are also called author's message. So the author, a lot of times when they're writing their story, they always have a message that they're trying to send to their readers. It may be a message that is very clear and they just come right out and say what the message of the story is. Sometimes though, in stories, you have to really think about what's happening in the story to understand the message. It's not always right in front of you. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of digging to really understand what the author's message is going to be in the story. And then characters often learn the life lessons at the end of the book. So again, Scaredy Squirrel learned that he should just go for it and he should just try something that made him feel scared. And so at the end of the book, then he wasn't scared of being in large crowds anymore. Okay, so sometimes, a lot of the times, the characters, they learn that lesson, or they learn from their mistakes at the end of the story. So some common life lessons that you might see in some of the stories that you read, right here in the pink box. Be kind, right? Treat others with respect. Tell the truth. If you need help, ask for it. Think before you act. Be brave and try new things. So those are a lot of common life lessons that we see in a lot of the stories that we read. And those are a lot of common messages that a lot of authors like to teach their readers through their stories. So when you're reading today, when you're doing independent reading, or if you're listening to a read aloud on either something like Storytime Online, or if you decide to go on to Charles Wright Library and watch a read aloud, whatever you do today for reading, make sure that you are really trying to pay attention to the author's message. What is the author trying to teach you with this story? Maybe think about what the lesson of the story is. Why did the author write this story? What lesson are you trying to learn, not just from the author's writing, but from what happens to the character in that story as well? So as you're reading today, independent reading, or again, Raz Kids, Storytime Online, Charles Wright Library, wherever you go for reading today, as you read, pay attention and see if you can figure out what message the author is trying to teach you in the story, or what is the lesson that is trying to be learned through the story. Okay, everybody, I can't wait to see what books you read, and I can't wait to see if you are able to actually find the kind of hidden message or the lesson in that story that you read today. Good job, everybody.